So today's topic we'll be talking about is what are the best practices for designing a clinical trial for a software as a medical device or a SaMD. There are really two major points to cover when you're designing a clinical trial for a SaMD. The first is to show that you have a valid clinical association between what the device outputs to the user and what the user actually needs in the clinical situation. Sometimes this does not require a clinical trial, but often you do have to gather data prospectively to show, for example, that identifying an area on an ultrasound that is suspicious for cancer actually is what the clinician is looking for. So that would be a valid clinical association. The second point, which is I think is what most people are thinking about when they design a clinical trial, is clinical validation. In other words, is the product doing what it's supposed to do on the intended use population in the intended context? This kind of a trial would have outputs such as what was the SaMD's sensitivity at detecting a disease, specificity, etc. But also, I think it's important to understand that you need to show that the device has the appropriate impact on the user at the end of the trial. In other words, again, using the example from earlier, if I have a product that reads ultrasounds and shows the radiologist where there are areas of concern, I have to show that it does that at a certain level of performance so that we can show the regulators, we can show the users, we can label the product appropriately from the output of the clinical trial.